Hey, this is Jay with Eno Supply. I'm here with Joe. Welcome to another episode of our Worx Plus product knowledge series. This episode, we're going to be talking about our rip change line. So let's get into it. So rip change line is, not a lot of people are too familiar with it in our line. It's more of an accessory than a tool. But if an accessory is increasing your efficiency, that's a tool in my opinion, right? Yeah. So it checks some of my favorite boxes of a Worx Plus product. Is very, very dead simple and extremely efficient, and just increases productivity. We get a lot of calls for resin plates. What are one of the most common issues that guys are having with these things?
Ripping them up. Basically their Velcro rips off, it gets hot, the adhesive gets hot, and they start to slide or shift, and then really you can't really get them back to their brand new state. So guys trying to glue them back. Basically.
Someone on the crew hits a bolt, rips the plate to pieces, or you're running ceramics on them, they get extremely hot. That heat then transfers down into the plate. And when the heat transfers into the plate, it reactivates that adhesive. Then guys go in with their scraper, or they're peeling these off by hand, and the next thing you know, your hook portion of this is ripping off. And like you said, it's really, really difficult to get those back to the original strength that they were. And it's a waste of time. It's, we don't have time to be re-gluing our plates and things like that. So what is the rip change? It's
basically just
simple.
A sacrificial layer with a loop and hook on it.
So this is the loop portion here.
So that's our loop.
And then this is the hook.
Okay. So that's the resin style. You'll see a different style with a bigger hook on it. That'll be our burnish style. A lot of options, man. It's all sizes, all styles.
So regardless of what machine, I mean, every size imaginable, 14, 13, 12, 11, 5, 6. I mean, anything that you need as far as size of plate or anything like that. Really big fan of running your resins on a full face plate as well, right? This gives you way more options for customizing your tools and what you're needing that tool to do. Right? When you're locked into only running 9 tools under your machine, you can't really adjust that much. You can just sort of switch the tool that you're using. Whereas, we discussed in our last thing, the biggest enemy of the tool, one of them is heat, right? And to be able to add more tooling onto your plate to basically mitigate the amount of heat that you're dealing with, you need to have that ability, right? As contractors in the field, we need to be able to adjust to whatever the elements or the environment that we're working in. So having these is really nice, because if I want to run 3, if I want to run 4, if I want to run 5, I can change these really easy. And then rather than coming in and every time I'm changing between grits, I'm going 1, 2, 3. If it's a 3-head machine, peeling it off, and then I'm putting my next grit on. So, I mean, if we're tipping a machine back 5, 6 times a day, and it's taken us, let's say, 10 minutes each time to change out our resins, 10 minutes, 6 times, that's an hour. We're talking multiple machines on crews, guys running these things, anything that we can do to increase that productivity of our time on site. Because if the machine's not turning, it's not making money, right? So another thing that I really like doing is if we have these, you go ahead and you just get your whole system set up, right? So 50 grit all the way through 3000. What are some of the benefits of having your system set up like this?
Couple things. Speed and efficiency, like you're just talking about with changing your tooling out. It'll speed that up a lot. Keeping your tools in the same area. A lot of tools get lost when you're just chucking them into the trailer or a job box.
There's nothing worse than showing up and you've got 8 resin pucks.
So,
you can't run that past. There's keeping track of 18 of these or whatever your quantities that you're running. Everyone's lost one and had to sort of adapt and figure out a way. So like, these are a lot easier to lose than having them set up like this, right?
Changing your tooling out. If you're getting on a pass, it's bright and early in the morning and you're not getting what you want out the back of the machine. Some guys will try to make that work, but this is pretty efficient and quick. So you can just stop what you're doing, tip the machine back, peel your 3 rip changes off, throw 3 more under there, and have the ability to kind of play with your tooling a little bit more and not take you an hour, 30 minutes to get it set up and try a different solution. So
oh yeah, I feel like the annoyance of changing 15 pucks sometimes will make me try to make a puck that's not getting the job done.
Yeah.
Whereas when you've got just 1, 2, 3 and you're on to the next one, guys will shift and pivot way more than they would otherwise. So you mentioned that we've got them in a whole bunch of different sizes, but you also mentioned the burnish, right? The rip change burnish.
Yep.
That's this guy here. So what's different about this?
So fatter hooks, bigger hooks, a lot coarser. Be able to really dig into the back of the nylon pads or tempos. Really hook in and hold them. If you're just trying to throw a nylon pad on to the back of a resin plate, the hooks,
this guy right here, that smaller hook one.
Yeah, the hooks are really.
I mean,
fine.
you can hear it, right? So like this is the.
Yeah.
That is not going anywhere. Whereas if we try getting, just a standard resin pad, right? Here's that same one.
Yep. Barely.
It's not going to hold on nearly as much.
So yeah.
So that's very helpful. So you can use these for burnishing, polishing, anything that you're needing to hold on. I think a lot of guys too, when they're running wet, they'll run these because you're a lot less likely to throw a puck. Right. If you've got that a little bit more bite to that puck, it's not going to get thrown nearly as much. So running wet, these are really fantastic, or running the tempo pad or any type of burnishing pad or anything like that. What's the other one that we have?
So we also offer a flex. That's going to basically be the same as a resin or burnish, but it's going to have a layer of foam, basically going to act as a couple of things. There'll be a sacrificial layer for heat. We'll give your tools the ability to ride with the floor a little bit more, go with the contours of the floor.
So you got a rigid tool, and you've got a wavy floor, but you need this to follow the contours. Adding this layer to our plate, we're going to get a little bit more flex out of that tool, so it'll follow the highs and low spots of that floor.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. So that's flex. And then we'll also
we've got these in the angle grinder too.
Yep. So
right.
Offer it in this guy. It extends the life of that backer pad a lot more, especially if guys are.
It's not looking like this.
Not looking like that.
Right. We all have one of these, so you don't have to have the flex. We've got these also in the burnish and the standard resin.
Yep.
So same idea. Extend the life of the more expensive thing.
Yep.
The thing that we want to last a lot longer, put a sacrificial layer on top of there. If this starts looking like that, you replace that. Yeah. This keeps working.
Yeah.
Simple.
A lot cheaper.
Yeah, way cheaper, way faster. Then yeah, same thing. Got these for burnish. So if we need to run a tempo pad or a dip pad on the angle grinder, that sticks on there really nice. Anything else about the rip changes that you want to go over? I guess we got, what's that little guy?
That's our little rippers. Basically, it's going to have the big hook on the back side and then your small hook on the other side. And it'll give you the ability to customize your system a lot more.
Well, how do you use it? What's the...
So basically, you throw your puck on there. And then
on this side, the resin side?
Yep. And then basically, you can throw that guy onto a nylon pad. And it's going to stick a lot better than if you were just trying to throw a puck on there. It's not going to stick at all.
So we had the flex pad's got, it gives us some flexibility, but if we're really trying to follow the contours of the floor, we can basically build a custom pad and follow that contour even better. And then another benefit of running these nylon pads is, a lot of guys really like these tools where you've got the resin pad already adhered to your hog's hair pad or your nylon pad. And the key benefit is it's cleaning as you're going. Right. This nylon, as it's sweeping through the floor, is going to be cleaning. So you're getting a better visual idea of what the tool is actually doing. But the downside of those products is they're usually adhered with glue.
Right.
So if it gets hot or you hit anything in the floor, you lose that puck, that tool's pretty much done. Right. So this allows us to customize and make our own any type of tool that we want that's going to be performing. I think a lot of guys really like a Hyperflex pad or things like that. This allows us the ability to extend that life, because sometimes what will happen is that nylon pad will wear away at a faster rate than the resin tool. And if that's the case, you're throwing away good product and material because you can't use it anymore. So you can swap them out. Really good for following the contour. Yeah, that's pretty nice products to be using, right? Just efficient. You're going to lose them a lot less. Guys are going to be switching between resins a lot quicker and just getting that process going. And I mean, affordable. If we can extend the life of our more expensive products that we have, it's more money in our pocket.
Okay. Boss man's not yelling at you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back with some more episodes. If you have any questions at all about our product line or anything about Worx Plus related products or accessories, feel free to reach out to myself or Joe. Have a good one. Thanks.
Yeah.